Sunday morning live, depending on where you're at. This would be Wildcat
Fireside
Parson.
Live, sir.
Fireside Live?
Live.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, sir. That's all good, man.
Forgot my own marketing.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how is everyone tonight? Welcome.
I'm going to check that. I'm going to have my side chat going so I can see who's in right now. Right now, we have no one in here. So if you just want to babble on, we can just babble for a little bit until a few people show up, because I kind of want to see. 8-bit Eric just replied to me. He's about to watch the show? Okay.
The
whatever.
Pack Gaming, the sequel. How you doing, sir? Welcome.
That's the boy. That's the youngin. That's the young retro kid.
All right. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy what we're going to talk about today. Actually, what time we're kind of waiting on the audience to come in. We did have some big news as far as some tag teams signed by Impact Wrestling. Anderson and Gallows, the Good Brothers, are ready to make an impact.
I have to say, I don't know these people. I apologize. I don't know them.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were AJ's tag team partners. You know, that threesome.
I've only watched a couple of older AJ matches. I wasn't a big fan of Impact back in the day, other than
no, these guys were just WWE and got let go.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I'm sorry.
Well, hey Layla, how are you doing tonight?
So much knowledge I don't know.
And
I know a lot, but you can only watch so much before it starts bleeding into each other. So
true. And I promised you clarification on Kairi Sane's contract. Well, it turns out there is no clarification at this point. She signed one, but nobody knows the details.
So she's like basically Rey Mysterio female version.
Well, no, Rey Mysterio doesn't actually have a contract. He's just doing.
They don't know.
Yeah, he's doing like day to day. No, she has a contract. It's just, is it for her to go and be a liaison to Japan after she wrestles another bit in the U.S., or is it U.S. continuation? Nobody knows.
So basically, like, she's going to basically do what Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson's basically doing right now.
Yeah, those are the two that got
a AEW contract, so they're going to go over, maybe do some New Japan stuff. Not sure about that.
Gallows and Anderson.
I don't have much news.
Those are the ones that signed with Impact.
Yeah. But don't they have an open deal where they can go over to New Japan as well?
I haven't read that in it. All I know is they announced that they're going to be at Slammiversary.
Okay. Because I don't know, because Revival's like that right now. They don't actually have an AEW contract. They're on a verbal, we'll work for you, but if we want to go work New Japan, we can too. We can do both. Once this whole coronavirus thing is settled down a bit where we could travel good and stuff, that's their plan, to work both back and forth like Pac's doing. Pac works multiple brands. And I don't know, that's also why you haven't seen Pac/Neville in a while, because he's stuck right now in the UK because of Corona. So
yeah, a lot of that going on. So that's the side stuff we had.
I got two more small news items.
All right.
In case people haven't seen it, Rusev, like you know, that's the first one. He has positive test for COVID-19, so keep him in your prayers. That was the first thing. Give me a second. I should have wrote these other ones down, but I forgot to do that because I was making sure the pay-per-view was fire hot heat. So
while he's looking that up, I'll do you guys a favor. The only part of SmackDown you need to watch from last night is AJ Styles and Mr. Bro himself for the Intercontinental title. That match
Bro.
was fire.
The reason he says bro is just a riddle to me.
I know.
Salute!
Wrong.
I got my other news item.
All right.
Other news. All right, so it's very short. So there was rumors that NWA is not coming back. This is untrue. Raven of, old school fame. Y'all know Raven. He tweeted something out that he heard locker room rumors that they were shutting down because they're not making any money right now. Billy Corgan said that was untrue. Is it untrue? I don't know. We'll see. But they're going to have to put something out eventually soon, because if they don't, their company's going to go under, because you can't survive on YouTube views alone, because they don't get enough revenue on their channel to support a whole roster. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe it is true. I don't know. Corgan said it wasn't, but who knows?
Maybe it's possible
Y'all
true
know
to.
who Billy Corgan is? Billy Corgan is president of NWA, also one of the members of the Smashing Pumpkins. Little facts there.
Old school wrestling and an old school band.
Pretty much.
It all works
Pretty
out.
much. So, are you ready to do this? Are you ready to go down?
All right.
We're going to do fantasy pay-per-view time. Pay-per-view versus pay-per-view. Retro Joe versus Wildcat. We're going to do match by match here. We've got 6 matches on the card. I've got multiple championships. He's going to go first. His
Okay.
Match 1, and
Before we get into it, who was your commentary team?
My commentary team was Jim Ross and Chris Jericho.
Okay, we both had JR. Because he's JR, he's the best ever. But I went Samoa Joe.
I pretty much knew you were going to go with him. He's actually really strong. The only reason I picked Chris is because he's extremely funny, and if a show starts to lag a little bit, he can pick up the pieces, and him and Jim Ross are pretty funny together. So that's why I picked them two.
So, I figured.
What's the name of your pay-per-view, sir?
Of course, it's Bash at the Beach.
So you picked a real name.
I did. I picked a real name. Because why not?
Real or not? I'd have to look it up. Mine is going to be the Slam City Invitational. The reason I put Invitational is because these multi-brand people from multi-generations. So that's why I added the Invitational, Slam City Invitational. Pretty much like a mini WrestleMania.
I like it. It works. And this Bash at the Beach, WCW only had like one of them that was good, so I figured why not give them 2?
Quick fact: who did Bash at the Beach last?
That would be AEW.
Oh, they dropped the ball on that copyright, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
That is the only factoid. That's the only AEW show I have not watched since they started. I did not watch part 1 and part 2 of that because I was on vacation, and I would rather spend time with my family than watch wrestling, and that's a fact. And everybody needs to remember that. Some things are just way more important. So,
Yep, the important things in life. So, for those of you that didn't catch the rules last week, we picked 6 different matches. Anybody in history that we wanted to see face each other, for whatever reason we wanted them to see face each other. Yeah, we're using the old WCW titles because that big gold belt's the best thing in the history of the business.
yes, it is. Yes, sir.
And that's not just rumor, that's fact.
All right, I'm gonna let you run this. So
Okay.
go ahead and start yours with match 1, and I'm gonna follow your lead on it.
So match number 1, I think I'm the only one that picked a women's fight because this is one I absolutely would. So everybody had a women's championship, so this is the fight for the WCW Women's Championship. Asuka, of course, versus AJ Lee. Arguably the best current female wrestler in the world versus the woman who really changed WWE, the Divas division, she made it available for that women's revolution to happen. She was really good, and the second best women's wrestler on the roster was Natalya. So I'd love
much anymore, I don't think.
Right, but I'd love to see AJ get a chance with some really good competition, and I think this match would tear the walls down.
I'm surprised you didn't do like an intergender match with AJ Styles and AJ Lee versus the other team.
No,
Bret Hart and Talia. What?
No.
Nah. No. So who was your winner? Who'd you win on this one? Who took the dub?
Well, Asuka. All the versatility. Plus, she's a little bit bigger. She's probably arguably one of the top 3 women in the history of professional wrestling, let alone currently.
All right, yeah, that's a pretty good starter. Like you said, I don't have any women's matches on mine. I had a tough time debating that, but I don't know. I'm not a woman hater by any means, but there's such a bad division I'm watching right now, and it's confusing.
Yeah, I get it.
Somebody good that I like. So if I was watching a different brand, like mainly, I'd probably have a better time doing this. But anyways, are you ready for match number 1 of Retro Joe Slam City Invitational? Are you ready to be blown away?
Sure.
All right, match number 1 on Retro Joe's card of the night is the Tag Team Championship match. I really had a tough time between these first 2 guys because I knew who my second team was going to be in the Tag Team Championship. The first team, I originally went with the Steiner brothers, but I cut that and we put in the Legion of Doom versus Team 3D for the Tag Team Championship. I really like both of these teams right here. I think it would be an epic match. There will definitely be some tables destroyed. There will definitely be some Dudleys looking around with their eyes wide open after they put people through tables. But even though Legion of Doom will be put through multiple tables in this match, because this will be a no DQ match, also, Legion of Doom will take the win for me on this one.
You picked a really good starter there.
Gotta come in with the heat.
Right.
Gotta bring that heat, son.
So what do you guys think? We both came with heat to start this, because both of those matches are going to be really,
Who's
really
the winner
good.
of round 1? I'm gonna take notes over here. Who wins in the chat? Who wins round 1 of this thing? Who do y'all think? Got some family members in here talking back and forth. So, what do y'all
Welcome.
think of this first one? Asuka versus AJ Lee, or the Legion of Doom versus Team 3D, which is the Dudleys. And I'm not talking about Spike Dudley. We're not talking about him. We're talking about the main 2 things. If we don't get nobody in here, we'll just keep going because, that's
says,
what we do. We don't have time.
Cheryl says, I win.
Oh, you win? Okay. we'll put you in there.
All right. So we'll give you guys some time to think about that.
Yeah.
Move on to match 2. And we were thinking pretty similarly, we need a tag team match to go early, because those WCW Tag Team Championships need to be defended. So I went with my favorite current tag team, the Revival, versus the team I think about whenever I think WCW Tag Team Championship. You mentioned them earlier, the Steiner Brothers.
Nice.
4 guys who will just beat the absolute snot out of you and laugh about it.
I love the Steiner brothers back in the day. My father used to bring home these VHS tapes from work that his buddies would give him.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they copied them off cable. I don't know. They recorded them, whatever, and we got to watch them because we were poor. We couldn't actually buy pay-per-views. We didn't have cable. So that's how we had to do it. That's when I first seen the Steiner brothers. And I was like, these guys are amazing. Loved them. Loved them from the start.
Can you imagine how hard-hitting this would be? Just 4 guys, they don't do anything pretty.
Hulk Hogan, he's not on the card. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no Hulk Hogan. That's for sure.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Not on my card.
Nope.
Spoilers. Not whatsoever.
And I actually have the Steiners winning this one.
I was gonna pick them as well if I chose the Steiner brothers.
Because as good as the Revival are, I mean, granted, besides Scott Steiner's epic promo abilities, have you seen the size of those arms?
Yep. Big Papa Pump. Yep. Hopefully he's doing well. He was in NWA Power for like one episode or one pay-per-view, and then he had like a heart issue. He had like a heart attack or something. So hopefully he's doing all right. So I don't know why he was still wrestling. He's kind of past his prime. But
A little bit.
All right, sir. Is that all you have on match number?
Yeah.
So let's get some more heat. And when I'm talking about heat, you can't bring the heat unless you bring the Latino heat. In the match number 2, we have the Intercontinental Championship. Eddie Guerrero versus, surprise, shocker, Pentagon Jr. I think Pentagon Jr. is one of the top luchadors in wrestling right now. I haven't seen... There's things he's done in the ring I've never seen before, even with WCW and WWE. I think Pentagon, honestly, when I watch his matches versus Rey Mysterio's, Rey Mysterio is a legend. He's great. But I think Pentagon's a little bit better because he's a bigger guy. He can do... I don't know. I just don't know. He's very smooth. I really like watching Pentagon Jr. His whole gimmick, his, huevo, whatever he says, the no fear thing, I love it. The glove where he throws it off in their face, I love that shtick. I really love it. Even though I really love Pentagon Jr., I think this will be a very high spot match. There will be many, many moonsaults, many crazy off-the-top things. But I'll have to give the win to Eddie Guerrero because he's one of the best ever. And I haven't seen Pentagon put on that legendary match just yet in his career. He's not really hit his prime yet. He's almost there. His stuff is very solid. But he hasn't had that legendary match yet. We might see that sometime. I've seen some crazy, amazing things from Pentagon. But he's getting there. He's almost there. So that's my match number 2, Intercontinental Championship. Eddie Guerrero will take the dub on this one. Chris Jericho is Brad's favorite wrestler.
Very nice.
Because he's Le Champion. He's the GOAT.
So, match 3. I figured every pay-per-view needs a good number 1 contenders match, right?
Right.
So, I figured why not have a match that could steal the show and not be at the top of the card. So we have a fatal 4-way submission match. Kurt Angle, Daniel Bryan, Bret Hart, and Dean Malenko.
Holy crap, yeah.
Technical wrestling at its best.
That would be off the charts ridiculousness, I think. That would be your eyeballs would be trying to look this way and this way. You might become opposite cross-eyed watching this match because you want to see everything that everybody does. That's
the problem. Yeah. You would end up missing things because all 4 of these guys can work so well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You'd have to rewatch it a few times.
I don't know if I could top this. Who's going to take the win on this one?
Our Olympic hero. It's true. It's true.
Dun, 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 dun. He's actually, people give him a lot of guff, but Kurt Angle is one of the most solid in-ring performers that's ever been around. If y'all hate him, it's because it was a meme and it started and it kind of pushed his character in that meme direction. Kurt Angle is amazing. I don't care what anybody says.
Kurt Angle
can wrestle. he can wrestle really, like really, not kayfabe. He can really wrestle.
He won Olympic gold with a broken neck. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. No, John Cena's not on my card. Sorry. Sis,
No.
There's no John Cena.
No John Cena.
Because I tried to find John Cena, but I just couldn't see him. I don't know. I couldn't see him. So he was gone. He's not on the card. Okay. Match number 3. I'm going to put you visually there. This is my movie moment match of the card. This is not the main event, but it's pretty darn awesome. So imagine there's a championship for like a King of the Ring where you get the crown, but it's a different kind of crown. Okay, it's like a crown made for just heels, for heel characters. It's the bad crown. It's the most.
So that's basically King of the Ring.
Yeah, King of the Ring, basically.
Yeah.
But imagine this. Everyone knows the story of the plane ride from HE double hockey sticks.
Yep.
So this is the visually what's going to happen. This match is going to take about 20 minutes long. We're going to have a jumbo jet. We're going to clear out the seats through that whole midsection. Each side has the curtain for the bathrooms. That's the entranceways for this match. We're going to have the ref in there. We're going to have this heel crowning moment. This is going to be Ric Flair versus MJF for that heel championship of all time. And they're going to be fighting 30,000 feet in the air because why not? If you're a jet flying kiss baby son of a gun, why not?
So is Jake Roberts the special guest referee so that we could say there's a snake on a plane?
Negative. Bret Hart will be the guest referee because someone's getting screwed like he got screwed. Because why would you not in a heel match of this nature? Bret Hart is the special guest referee. And no, that wasn't on my paper. You just put me on the spot and I made that up. So, but I think it works out very well. All right. Who do you think won this match? Who, in your opinion?
Probably MJF, since you're wearing the scarf.
That is correct. And the reason I picked him is not because Ric Flair is any less. It's because Ric Flair, even though he is the biggest heel of all time, he's going to basically, I'm not going to say he's going to throw the match, but MJF, he wants to put him over into the next heel for the next generation. So this will be basically Ric Flair's retirement match, and he's going to put over MJF in such a way that he takes that heel I don't know, Olympic stick and run with it.
The crown, if you will.
The crown, yeah. Basically the crown. He's going to run with the next. He's the next heel generation because MJF is the next heel generation of top heel. He is the guy. So, and I could see this happening, and I could see Ric Flair becoming MJF's manager after this fact. So, yeah. That was match number 3. Over the top, amazing. Linked to a old wrestling story that really happened. Look it up if you haven't seen it. You know, plane ride from HE double hockey sticks. It's a very crazy story that happened that was real. So,
yeah, definitely a crazy
on a
situation.
Fighting each other. That's all I got for match number 3.
He is already retired. This is fantasy booking, what we would want to see with all of them in their prime.
Right.
So, match 4, you have to have a Cruiserweight Championship match. And I figured why not pick 2 of the best crazy workers that I think would be ridiculously good together. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, of course, he got one of the best WrestleMania matches ever out of the Macho Man Randy Savage against the Demon King Finn Balor.
That is crazy. Wait up. What was the first guy again?
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ricky Dragon Steamboat versus Finn Balor.
Finn Balor for the Cruiserweight Championship.
That is, yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's going to be hard to beat, actually. Yeah.
I mean, 2 of the most underrated workers in the history of the business. Ricky can get in there. Well, like I said, he had probably the best WrestleMania match ever with Macho Man. And then Finn Balor. It's just Finn Balor.
Which Finn Balor? You said the demon version or
Yep,
the
the
regular?
demon version, because we need the theatrics.
All
Because Ricky's going to come out breathing fire with his dragon wings on. Why not have the demon come out too?
I got you. Yeah, that pretty much makes sense. Yeah. That would be something to watch. I would love to watch that.
Yeah, and just the spots they're both capable of.
I think Finn Balor's been underutilized, and he's not really been super pushed.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even in main roster, is he?
He's back in NXT.
So that's like a demotion, basically, according to their rules.
Yeah, according to their rules, it is. But and I've got Finn Balor winning.
Nice. Yes, Ric Flair is technically retired as a wrestler, but he appears every week on Monday Night Raw with Randy Orton. So, yeah, he's retired, but he's basically in a managerial type situation. Mrs. Mama there.
Okay, what do you have for your fourth match?
Match number 4, very interesting thing. I have the Hardcore Championship for this one, straight out of ECW. This match is going to feature Colt Cabana versus Rob Van Dam, because I really like both these guys. I think they could put on a heck of a show for a hardcore match. Both of them have been in hardcore matches before. RVD obviously a lot more than Colt Cabana, but he has done it before. Colt Cabana, I think, is a very good in-ring worker. He is one of my new favorites. He's actually about to turn heel, which is going to be very interesting. And RVD, even though he has issues with the wellness policy, I really don't think that's a huge deal that most people bring it out to be, obviously. He's not peddling coke or becoming an alcoholic. He just likes to kick back and smoke some of the herb. But regardless, he's a very good in-ring worker, and he looks amazing when he's in matches. So if I were going to also on that weed note, if I was going to say, you know, wrestling puts a lot on your body, obviously, and we have had a lot of problems with people getting addicted to painkillers and stuff, ending wrestlers' lives early. I would much rather have them all take a bit of the ganja instead of becoming addicted to pills and becoming alcoholics and dying early, because most, you know, people don't die early of marijuana. So I'd rather that happen than other things. So there's a lot more things that bad could happen to a wrestler. So I don't give him any guff for that. He still works in the ring good. He doesn't really botch all that much. But I think this will be a good match. I do have Colt Cabana taking the win on this one because I don't know. I don't know why. It was a toss-up. They're both almost equally as good in the ring. So it was a hard pick. I picked Colt Cabana for basically the push. I wanted him to get a push out since he's a new wrestler. Even though it's kind of like a Legends fantasy type thing. I think this will be another retirement type deal with RVD going off the sunset. Sitting down on a porch with Snoop Dogg, enjoying the life.
Moving over to Colorado.
Yeah. Move off to Colorado. And that's match number 4, Hardcore Championship. So far, both pay-per-views are looking very solid, folks. Very solid. I would watch either one of these. So match number 5, go ahead, sir.
Match number 5 is for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship of the world. And
wait, that's not the. Is that the main heavyweight?
No. It's just the U.S. belt. Yeah, it's just the U.S. title.
U.S. belt, okay.
I just wanted to fancy it up a little bit. Come on.
Don't fancy it up. MVP tried that, and I don't like how that looks. That looks crazy.
No, it's garbage now. I like the old one.
It don't look classic no more. It used to look classic. Now it looks...
Give me the one that Lex Luger wore. But he's not in this match.
Oh, Lex.
Because I wanted a match where the crowd would be constantly at the edge of their seat. Kind of a psychological thriller, if you will, that could honestly end at any given second. We have Randy Orton and the RKO.
The Legend Killer. The Legend Killer.
Against Diamond Dallas Page with the Diamond Cutter.
Bang.
Two of the most protected moves I mean, neither one's as great as the roll-up, apparently. But two of the most protected finishers in the history of wrestling that they could hit from any angle, any time, any moment. If you go to the bathroom, you're afraid you'll miss the finish because either one of them hits it, it's over.
Oh man, that's you're talking in their prime, right? Both
Yeah.
in their prime. I don't know who's better. I don't know. I'm inclined to say Orton's better in the ring.
As an overall wrestler, yes.
But I could see you trolling us into a DDP win somehow.
Oh no, I'm going with the Diamond Dallas Page win because if you remember his character, he was too dumb to know when he was beat. He'd crawl up.
All right.
He would crawl up people just to keep fighting. Ribs taped. You know, he'd pull his arm out of a sling to come into a match and still win.
You know how I would finish this match? You know what my finisher would be if I had seen this, if I was booking this? My finish would be, I would have Randy Orton hit DDP with an RKO. Then I would have Randy Orton go for the punt kick, miss DDP into Diamond Cutter finish. No roll up, no clean victory, straight up.
Well, here's how I would finish it. Because one of the things they always talked about with DDP was his tape study and his preparation. He'd get RKO'd, but roll out of the ring. So he can't get pinned this way. Orton rolls him back in there, and everybody knows that the second person in the ring's at a disadvantage. Orton tries to pick him up again for it, countered, Diamond Cutter.
That's right. He got the Simpsons count. 1, 2, 3 fingers on each hand. Yep.
But
that's by the way, don't play that game. Worst wrestling game ever made. Wrestling is the most awful wrestling ever made ever.
But overall, great psychological match though.
Yep. I like it. I like it a lot, sir. I like where you went with that one. So, are you prepared for the next match?
All right.
Match number 5. I call this match the 2 tons of destruction match because there will basically be 2 tons of people in this ring at the same time. We have, it's the Big Show versus Andre the Giant versus Vader in the 2 tons of destruction match. I think the ring will actually get destroyed during this match. Not sure. Might have. What was it, Brock Lesnar that broke the whole ring that one time?
Yeah, Brock and
set up.
And Big Show.
That would probably happen in
real life.
Do a fatal 4-way, but I couldn't. I didn't want to put Yokozuna in there. I thought that would be too much for that ring. It's just way too much. 2 tons of destruction. This is a crazy batch. I'm gonna have Big Show taking the dub on this one. Andre, even though he was a legend, he got out of breath a lot faster than Big Show. I don't think he's going to have the stamina to finish this. Vader is going to be his main concern, and I think Big Show's going to take out Andre early in the match. Over the rope type situation to the floor where he's down for a good amount of time while he's fighting Vader. Vader's going to bring that heat because Vader was awesome. And yeah, it's going to be a super brawl. It's going to be like a battle clash of the Titans type situation with Big Show and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
But Big Show's eventually going to overcome. Not going to choke slam him because I don't know if I've ever seen anybody choke slam Vader.
No,
he's too big. I don't know.
He's a big old boy too.
It's going to end. I don't really have a finish for this one. I just have Big Show taking the win on this one. Y'all have an idea of how Vader can be taking down my Big Show? Let me know. It's not going to be a roll up. The dudes are too big for roll up. No senton bombs. I don't know. I say that, and I just seen this dude a couple weeks ago do a senton. I never thought he could do one. But anyways, who was it? Was it one of the Viking Raiders or something.
Yeah, hey,
was like, holy crap.
Those guys are nuts and super athletic for their size.
Ivar, I think it was Ivar.
Yeah.
A senton or something. I'm like, how? Dude's like 400 pounds. Like, oh. Anyways, all right. Now it's time for the main event. The show stealer, the showstopper, whatever you want to call it.
For the big gold belt. The best belt.
The big gold back championship belt.
Yep. That big gold belt, the best one in the history of the business. They need to bring back. Please bring back.
Heads up. We might have some of the same guys because when we're talking the big guys, big matches, it's possible. But it's also possible we don't. So I'm going to let you go first and then bring that heat, son, because I'm going to bring it too. This is for all the marbles.
So we have HBK, obviously, Shawn Michaels, arguably the best worker in the history of the business.
Did you know he's a sexy boy?
He is a sexy boy. But he's on my list of people that you put in there with a mop. And the mop looks like a legitimate opponent because Shawn sells so well.
Did you see that? Oh my God! Look at this! And then basically Jerry Lawler, look at this!
Against
the mop, and it makes it look amazing.
He's going for the title against who the Undertaker said is the modern day Shawn Michaels. That's the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yup, he won. Definitely. I did not put him on my card like I told you before. Even though he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Put him on.
Two guys you put in the ring and they make anybody look good. I mean, what was Roman Reigns' best match in WWE? Against AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
It's not even close.
Who was that guy that had the wrestling school that him and Moxley were kind of like...
Oh, yeah, the guy with the funky haircut that was like 60 pounds.
Yeah,
he looked... James something?
James Ellsworth.
Yeah, Ellsworth.
He looks good in the ring.
He looked good with AJ. That should say something.
I would look good with AJ in there. I don't know. I don't even wrestle.
Either one of these guys you're in the ring with, you're going to look convincing because they're that good.
I would throw some Road Dogg Jesse James pops at him, and he would take them and sell them like crazy, and it would make me look like I'm a legitimate wrestler.
Probably. And these are two guys, offensive innovation. They can pull stuff out of anywhere. I give AJ Styles a little bit of an advantage because he actually is a little more technically sound, like mat wrestling. Shawn's more of that old school brawler, if you will. And the finish of this,
sorry.
the finish of this, I have AJ winning. Shawn goes for the super kick. It gets caught and turned into the calf crusher.
Very nice.
So, your new champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
No, you didn't say it right. You got to say, AJ Styles. You got to put them pauses.
Ew.
He is deserving of the pauses.
Do I need to bring the gloves out?
I like it. Yep. Isn't enough heat, though. Can't stop the main event on the Slam City Invitational. Something that my second opponent... I'm actually not even going to say his name. I'm just going to play the theme song.
All right.
So, obviously, I have to go with... This is going to be for WWE Championship or whatever, the big belt of whatever we pick. First opponent, it's just a one-on-one singles match. And I'm going to say before I tell you who they are. These two, even though they're so huge and wrestled at the same time, never fought in a singles match. And you're going to be like, wait, how? They did face each other in situations such as the Royal Rumble and stuff like this, but they never actually had a singles match ever. And you're going to be surprised. You're going to be very, very shocked when I say their names. First person, the Dead Man, obviously, one of my favorites of all time. Undertaker with Paul Bearer before he, passed on. This is prime versions versus... Drum roll. Let's get a little Christmas Vacation. Little drum roll going. versus this guy right here. Oh, yeah! Are you shocked that these two have never fought each other in a singles match?
My question, did they fight in WCW, though, when it was Mark Miro against Macho Man?
I didn't say that. I said Undertaker versus Macho Man.
I'm just saying because, you know.
Those two gimmick characters have never fought each other. According to the internet and Google and whatnot, these two have never fought.
Okay.
I wasn't even sure. I was like, how are these not? People have not fought before. Mark Miro was a different character. He's not super known, so you know I'm not going to put that out there like that. But as the Macho Man himself, NWO version or a regular version, has not fought classic Undertaker or the American bad word version. So yeah, that's the thing. This is actually also going to be a retirement match, and this would be Undertaker retiring the Macho Man at his prime. So the reason I wrote it that way is because, you know, this is going to be a super long battle. This is going to be like a 45-minute deal. These two are just going to go head to head like two giants in the ring, just beating down each other. You're going to get flying elbow drops. You're going to get, you know, choke slams. You know, the obvious finish is going to be Undertaker putting Macho in that, you know, the tombstone pile driver. That's what's going to happen. But this is almost like Undertaker is going to, like, when he finishes him like this, it's not that he's defeating him, but he's saving him from a future that he shouldn't have had in wrestling. Macho Man should have left way before he got to that point that he had over in over in TNA. He should have never been to that point. He should have left earlier in his career. He had the money. He should have enjoyed the rest of his life. If he had left then, you know, everything works out like a butterfly effect. You know, everything happens in one straight line, timeline of life. So if he'd have stopped doing wrestling at that moment, he may have not ended up living where he lived at that moment where things happened, and he may have been healthier and not had that heart attack or whatever that happened, which killed him while he's driving to Florida. He might have still be alive if we'd have had a retirement match with like something like this. That's what it's not defeating him, but he's saving him at the same time. Because even though the dead man does take your soul, sometimes he saves when he puts over people. So yeah. I don't know. Those are both pretty big heat matches. Pretty big legends right there. And I could have gone super generic, but I wanted something really big, and I wanted something that's never been seen before. In that manner, there's no Macho Man versus Undertaker match ever. And you can't watch one with those two characters, so very surprising to me.
So the question is there a match that almost made your card that you didn't decide to go with for whatever reason?
You'd have to give me a moment. I didn't really consider that. So I'm going to have to go on the spot and think about it just for a couple of minutes here.
Because there's two. Your main event has one of the people I didn't have on my card. The Undertaker.
Oh, I forgot something. Macho Man does have a manager in this. Paul Heyman.
Okay.
With Paul Bearer. So those two outside is going to be a nice little addition to whatever else is going on in the ring too.
Absolutely.
Don't come over here, Paulie. Don't mess with the Paul Bearer. You just see that. You just see that happening. That'd just be a funny little side gig going on with Paul Heyman over there. Who knows? Paul Heyman might turn into the next Paul Bearer later when he gets older.
Who knows? Yeah, I almost went with Sting Undertaker. It's something we saw once in WCW when Sting was a big deal, and you know, old Mark wasn't such a big deal before he left for WWE. It's one we never got to see when they were both at their height. and we should have.
I'm trying to think of that match while you're talking, sir. I'm trying to think of something I would have put on there. Keep going.
I almost went Lita instead of AJ Lee, but I like AJ Lee. She was fantastic in an era where there was nobody really good at all. And that's harder to do. Lita had Trish and a couple other good workers. Gail Kim for a while.
Yeah, I don't really know, man. I did have a team on there that I took off. I had the Brood on there originally, but I didn't really have them. I wanted them to face another team of darkness, so I couldn't really think of anybody that could match real well with the way they work. So I ended up taking them off the card. I wanted to do like a nightmare match. But
you could have went
them
with
in with somebody else that has that sort of tone. It's like they're all like indie guys, and they're not people that are super good. So,
or you could have went with the Wyatt family.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think that would work out too well. Braun Strowman's too big. He would destroy.
But not the Braun variety. Bray, Eric, and guy I forget.
They're still too big. Eric's too big. Like,
yeah,
those guys are way bigger than Edge and Christian, and it's like it's not even fair. I wanted somebody like of equal. That's why I had the Giants across the board, and you know, Taker, Macho Man's about the same size. I don't want something that's obviously a David and Goliath situation. I want me to wonder who's going to win, because when you have like a dude that's like 500 pounds, 10 foot tall, and you got like Marco Stunt, who's going to win? I mean, it's all this. Not talking about no Marco. I know y'all seen that on Facebook. That's pretty crazy. That move they did was. I'm surprised that little kid didn't break every bone in his body. That's about ridiculous.
It was possible.
But yeah, that was my card. That's all I have for my end of it. We went a little over. We went a little over budget. No, we went a little over time on this one.
Yeah, we threw a little extra time in there to get all the way through it. So, for those of you that watch live, who do you think had the better card? Were there any of those matches that you were like, yes, I absolutely have to watch that?
I got family members on my side there. It's gonna be me.
Yeah,
it's gonna be me.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I've got the better workers.
Or they just put both pay-per-views together into a little pay-per-view with all those people.
So we'll do what AEW and NXT did and have 2 days of pay-per-views?
Whoa. We're not talking about AEW here. I only do I have any AEW guys even on this other than I don't think I did.
MJF was it.
I had Pentagon Jr., but he's been in other promotions longer than AEW.
Yeah, he kind of.
He's in MLW as well, so I kind of exclude them if they're AEW / another company. Like, they're not full AEW. MJF is the only full AEW on my card. Colt Cabana is brand new. He was NWA before this.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
And for those people
these guys are legends.
And for you folks that come on later in the comments, once this video goes into replay on the YouTube, tell us what you think. There anybody that we missed? Any guys we overlooked? Maybe some missed opportunities? Tell us that we picked the wrong winner. Anything like that. We appreciate your input.
Yes, we do appreciate it. We appreciate everybody watching. I'm going to be editing this video to our new wallpaper for this. I'm going to put these little videos that's on here right now the way it's showing. It's going to be pulled off YouTube momentarily after it goes up, and then it's going to go right back up with the new version of Fireside Live, as I'm calling it. A little fireside chat from your two wrestling nerds. So it's going to look cool. It's going to look really cool. This is your chance to catch us live every week. We'll try to go do this every week. Obviously, sometimes we won't be able to do certain things, work stuff, whatnot. I'm not really going into work that much, so until we start going back to work full time, I'll be able to do this. So
pretty
we'll
much
have to change the time schedule for after this happens, after work starts again for everyone, we'll have to change the time schemes up a little bit. So
Most likely, yes. Next week, the topic. Why not do something? Mount Rushmore of tag teams.
can I draw it in like a stone stack?
Hey, if you want to, you absolutely can. But we're going to tell you our 4 favorite tag teams.
In the history, 4 tag teams. That's like
4 tag teams.
That's like 8. That's like 8 people.
Yeah,
it's a giant long Rushmore.
Yeah, it's extended.
Extended to Mount Rushmore 2.0, as you will.
Bigger, better.
Mount Slammore.
Mount Crushmore. Come on.
Mount Crushmore. Oh, that sounds a little bit better. Yeah, gotcha. Anyways, that's all I got from my end. If you're ready to bounce, I'm ready to bounce. It's 4:50 a.m. in the desert time here. I'm going to take me a nap. It's getting late, so.
That's right. So thank you guys for coming in. Greatly appreciate it. Like I said, if you like what we do, please give us a like, subscribe, throw some comments down there, let us know. Thank you guys again. God bless.